Have you ever contemplated why Muslim women are traditionally not permitted to marry non-Muslim men? The reasons you'll discover are deeply rooted in history, religious scriptures, and the interpretations of renowned Muslim scholars. Our journey begins with the advent of Islam in the 7th century. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, explicitly addresses the issue in the Quran. Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 221. وَلَا تَنْكِحُوا الْمُشْرِكَةِ حَتَّى يُؤْمِنَّا وَلَا أَمَةٌ مُؤْمِنَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن مُشْرِكَةٍ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ وَلَا تُنْكِحُوا الْمُشْرِكِينَ حَتَّى يُؤْمِنُوا وَلَا عَبْدٌ مُؤْمِنٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن مُشْرِكٍ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَكُمْ أُولَئِكَ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى النَّارِ وَاللَّهُ يَدْعُو إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ وَالْمَغْفِرَةِ بِإِذْنِهِ وَيُبَيِّنُ آيَاتِهِ لِلنَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ. And do not marry polytheistic women until they believe. And a believing slave woman is better than a polytheist, even though she might please you. And do not marry polytheistic men to your women until they believe. And a believing slave is better than a polytheist, even though he might please you. Those invite you to the fire, but Allah invites to paradise and to forgiveness by His permission. And He makes clear His verses, ordinances, to the people that perhaps they may remember, translated by Sahih International. Here, the Quran sets a clear rule prohibiting Muslim women from marrying non-Muslim men. Moving forward to the Middle Ages, the renowned Islamic scholar Ibn Taymiyyah shed light on this issue. In his book Majmu al-Fatawa, he writes, "It is haram for a Muslim woman to marry a non-Muslim man, regardless of whether he is of the people of the book or not." Translated by Dr. Muhammad Taqiyuddin Uddin al-Hilali. This statement underpins the traditional Islamic stance based on the interpretation of Quranic verses. Fast forward to the 20th century, we encounter a divergence in interpretation. Fazlur Rahman, a prominent modernist Islamic scholar, in his book Islam and Modernity, argued that the prohibition was contextually based on the socio-political conditions of early Islamic society. He states, the Quranic prohibition was due to the patriarchal nature of those societies. Translated by Ibrahim Musa. He suggested that in a society where women's rights are protected, such prohibition may not be necessary. In the present day, however, the mainstream Islamic stance remains unchanged. The esteemed scholar Yusuf al-Qaradawi, in his book The Lawful and the Prohibited in Islam, reaffirms the traditional interpretation. He states, Islam has categorically and firmly prohibited Muslim women from marrying non-Muslim men. Translated by Kamal al-Helbawi. In summary, the prohibition for Muslim women to marry non-Muslim men is rooted in the Quran's explicit statement, reinforced by interpretations of prominent scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah and Yusuf al-Qaradawi. Yet, there is also a divergent view, as presented by Fazlur Rahman, suggesting the prohibition was contextual to the socio-political conditions of the early Islamic society. This issue, like many others in religious studies, is multi-layered and complex. It serves as a reminder that understanding the nuances of religious doctrines requires a deep dive into history, scriptures, and scholarly interpretations. It's a fascinating journey filled with insights and surprises that offers a deeper understanding of the world we live in. Do not forget to tap on the like, subscribe, and share buttons, and also leave a comment.